Within the human body lies hidden a certain metaphysical substance known to only a few. This essence is in no need of a remedy for, in itself, it is a remedy second to none. It has a threefold nature: metaphysical, physical, and moral. The careful reader can deduce that we must go from the metaphysical to physical only through a philosophic process. Alchemists were deeply devoted to their work and did not suffer from the split present in the souls. Our contemporaries, for the most part, picture the being on one side and matter on the other, as never meeting. Conversely, the alchemists see the being in the world and the world in the being. They were not victims of the present-day blindness, and this assured their successful work. It seems important today to describe their method. There is in natural things a truth that cannot be seen without our eyes, the five ordinary senses. Philosophers knew this and found that the power of this truth is such that it can perform miracles. We state that such a miracle can be found while observing a rose in a garden or in a friendship, and can be perceived with physical eyes and the heart's eyes as well. This unique vision is not a result which is due only to material operations such as pouring acetic acid on stibnite, nor is it the result of a figurative illusion given to a substance, one of the sun, the other of the moon. The quality of the ingredients is paramount because of the influence upon the results, so in the mental, the quality of thought will determine a final success or failure. In this truth lies all the art of freeing the spirit from its bonds. Through this same path, the spirit can be liberated from the body. This last sentence, the spirit can be liberated from the body, is directly related to the alchemist's method of meditation. The word method is perhaps not adequate, for it seems to imply a group of formulas, a range of preconceived ideas, when spontaneity is in fact the essence of the alchemical meditation. Meditation, after all, is a way to go fishing into the subconscious to bring the truth forth. The conscious mind selects the subject or the question, and, like the fisherman, throws it as bait in the water. But the bait does not look for the fish looks for the bait. This is the biggest and most common error of interpretation of all metaphysics. One must not fall into a trap and say, I have read the text for years, I have done experiments, and I believe I am directing the course of this work. Only the being directs the work, and not one of us can tap a stream of wisdom unless we remain receptive. This is why alchemy is an art as well as a science. Not only is it the art of directing the work, according to our understanding from the teachers or books' instructions, it is also the art of heart receptivity, the art of allowing ourselves to be cleansed by the work. Like matter is purified during an experiment, the genuine alchemist's experiment occurs at the convergence of the two worlds. With years of intellectual, emotional, and physical efforts, we can and we must reach the goal. Actually, the goal will reach us. It is possible only through meditation, through the let it be done. He understands and uses all the levels of his being. He adds to these levels a vigilance unknown to him before, and once this is accomplished, he withdraws. This technique will be familiar to readers and followers of Zen, yoga, and Taoism, and several other disciplines. The word meditation is used when a man has an inner dialogue with an invisible being. This might be with the being if it is invoked, with an angel, or with himself. The meditative aspect of the alchemical work is not simply that of cogitation or pondering about this work. It is essential to be certain that a preliminary organization of the theory results in a method. One must master the theory before the practice. Meditation, however, will go farther and will include a more complex procedure. We insist on the fact that meditation is an inner work. By choosing our words, we can state that the occultist receives a profound revelation from the highest self, the ceremonial magician, the knowledge and conversation of the guardian angel. If his thoughts are not well ordered, then his substance cannot be properly manipulated. If both are in good order, he has to muster the courage to go deep within his inner resources in order to understand the relationship between his own soul and the soul of the matter he is working with. He must also fear attack from the skeptical occultist, on the one hand, who will doubt his laboratory methods, and, on the other hand, by his scientific friends who will think of him as a sentimental religious person among his flasks and retorts. Thus, even today, the alchemist has his own domain. The challenge of his work certainly goes beyond old critics. Only the man and the woman who enter with a praying and meditative heart can benefit from the pursuit of this work. Throughout the centuries, no writer has been able to say that this path was easy. Michael Meyer wrote, "For those who start, affliction reigns with vinegar, but for those who finish, joy reigns with laughter. This thing we searched for such a long time cannot be acquired nor accomplished by force nor passion. It can only be acquired through humility, patience, and a determined perfect love. May God grant this divine and immaculate science to his faithful servants, particularly to those who are, according to his desire, like the source of the essence of things. No one can save oneself without the force granted by God, and, without it, no one could continue the salvation of his soul, which is the goal God designed for them. Then God puts in charge those of his servants to whom he proposed to look for this divine science which is hidden to man and which he keeps for them. This science will give them birth beyond the suffering of this world and burden them with the knowledge of future good. Alchemical theory. We mentioned that the alchemist only deals with living bodies, that is to say, bodies in which the three principles sulfur, mercury, and salt are present and alive. In accordance with tradition, we shall call these bodies composites. For example, an alchemist considers the metallic, or which comes out of the mine alive but dead as soon as it is transformed into a metal through fusion, because it has lost almost the totality of its mercury during this operation. For the three realms, we can draw the following chart. Metallic realm, metallic sulfur, metallic mercury. Vegetable realm, vegetable sulfur, vegetable mercury, vegetable salt. Animal realm, animal mercury, animal salt. In the three realms, the sulfur is soul of the composite. It ensures its animation. But this animation is only possible if live mercury is present, because it ensures the sulfur-salt, soul-body link. If there is no mercury, the sulfur is constrained to remain inactive and undergo imprisonment. In itself, sulfur is always pure. It is disturbed by terrestrial impurities which get caught in it. The mercury is in essence identical in the three realms, however, each mercury is specific to its realm. In a sense, we can say that the mercuries of the various realms differ by their vibratory rates. This is why experiments that attempt to have one mercury act on one or several principles of another realm cannot give satisfactory results. The role of the mercury of the spirit consists in the reunion of body and soul. It ensures the alchemical marriage of these two extreme principles. An alchemist can mature and perfect a mercury inside its realm. The two elements, sulfur and mercury, we just mentioned are, in their alchemical aspect, unknown to classical chemistry, but it is a different matter for the salt which we are going to study now. The salt of the vegetable realm and the salt of the animal realm are known to current classical chemistry, but the salt of the metals is unknown. The metallic salt we are indicating is not composed of metal with another body, it is one of the constituting elements of metal. In the three realms, the salt is the composite's matrix. It determines what the composite will be, which is made up from the vivifying influence of the sulfur through the mercury. Thus, in each realm, there is one salt for each composite, one salt for each plant in the vegetable, and one salt for each type of animal in the animal realm. In addition, if the salt is the body's matrix, it has a cleansing role in alchemical or spagyric processes. In the vegetable realm, the sulfur is contained in the plant's essential oils, then the mercury is revealed and can be extracted in the plant's alcohol. The salt is obtained through calcination or by leaching it out of the ashes of the plant. In the metallic realm, the alchemical dissociation separates the metals into their three principles, the sulfur in an oily form, the mercury in a very volatile, an acid form to which the name vinegar was given, and salt in the form of a residual calx, ash. Since we excluded animal alchemy and spagyrics from our course, we shall not describe the principles of this realm. In summary, the sulfur is the soul which animates the body through the mercury, which is the bond between the body and soul, whereas the salt is the body. Our Christian members can ponder the alchemical reasons for the choice of bread, wine, and salt in their religious rites. The second method to purify salt uses water and fire, that is to say, a leach and calcination. The ashes are introduced into a flask and we pour distilled water on them, in a quantity of at least 20 times their volume. Preferably rain water, otherwise use demineralized water. It takes a good hour and much shaking to obtain a good dissolution of the salts. The mixture is then filtered through a glass funnel and the residue ashes are collected. We perform this procedure at least 3 times so that all soluble salts are completely dissolved.